Today's date is June the 9th, 2017, and I'm getting ready to go to the Fallon building again in Baltimore. The mileage is now 56,131. So we will see what it is when I get back later. Or I'll tell you when I get there. That way we'll know the whole distance from point A to point B, and we can add it up. Laters.
Violation of the Espionage Act, punished by up to 10 years in prison. Moreover, specifically with respect to revelations about covert agents, because it contained the identities of spies, it is a felony violation of the Intelligent Identities Protection Act for a government official, intentional and without authorization, to disclose information that identifies a covert agent. Anyway, you compare what they did to him to what they didn't do to Hillary after Comey's reading her mind, claiming she had no intent to do it. They went after Petraeus like you can't believe. They forced him into a plea deal, not suggesting they shouldn't have, but they let Hillary got a pass strictly on Comey's mind-reading ability. I didn't detect that she had any intent whatsoever of doing what she did. Translations, you got the dumb idiot didn't even know what she was doing. She was trying to keep people from finding out about her daughter's yoga lessons or whatever. And now you have the specter of Comey memorializing conversations with the president and leaking them. CNN's running a banner. Trump calls Comey a leaker. Last hour, Trump addresses Transportation Department after calling him a liar. Comey is a leaker. This is how the drive-bys do it. Trump claims Comey leaker. You claim anything, he is. Make it look like it's a baseless charge. Now to Alan Dershowitz. Alan Dershowitz has written a piece at Fox News confirming, because the headline confirms that I'm right and all the Democrat commentators are wrong. Now, and if we play sound bites of Dershowitz, he has just made mincemeat of these left-wing commentators who don't even understand the Constitution. So to Jeffrey Toobin, who wants to try to criminalize the fact that the president would talk to the FBI director. They seem to believe the FBI director has powers independent of the president, and that the president has to be subordinate to the FBI director. You actually have learned lawyers on CNN and through other drive-by media who believe this, in order to be able to categorize Trump as violating the law. Dershowitz, every chance he's gotten, has pointed out that these nimrods don't know the Constitution. It's the president that runs the executive branch, and if anybody answers to anybody, it's the FBI director answers to the president. The president cannot obstruct. By definition of the Constitution, the president cannot obstruct the FBI director. He can order him around, he can tell him to do this, not do that. Obama, has anybody forgotten? Obama ordered the Justice Department not to prosecute Dreamers, not to prosecute the DOMA Act, just willy-nilly. Remember when you first heard of this? Obama ordered the Justice Department to stop prosecuting. He can do it. He runs the executive branch, by the same token Trump can do it. So Dershowitz is along now. It's really strange, too, to have Dershowitz essentially focusing his fire on like-minded leftists. But I think he's such a strict interpretator of the law and the Constitution that I think he's greatly offended by people in positions of power on major media networks and newspapers who are ignorant of it. They ought not have the job if they don't know what they're talking about. If they don't understand the nature of executive power, separation of powers, and if they're going to use their ignorance to try to indict Donald Trump as somehow being subordinate to James Comey or what, they don't deserve to be on TV. I think it bothers Dershowitz greatly, and he's made no bones about taking them on, and now he's writing a piece. Comey's testimony proves I'm right. Comey's testimony confirms that all the Democrat commentators are wrong. And wait till Dershowitz learns that all these people have known all along that Trump was never a target of the investigation. And the audio sound bites. We have a couple montages of Comey we put together after the testimony yesterday. We have one that's very short, just 10 seconds. It was a rush job, no pun intended. And then one that's a little bit longer. Here's the first one.
I was in a slightly cowardly way. I was also confused and was honestly concerned. It was a surprise. It gave me a queasy feeling. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. I could be wrong.
He said that 9 times yesterday, by the way. Although I could be wrong. I might be wrong. I could very well be wrong. 9 times. You know what that is? CYA, baby. CYA. I could be wrong. But what I think happened here, Senator, is that Trump's a pig. I could be wrong, but I think the president's a liar. I could be wrong. But I just feared I wouldn't get the truth out of it, and I had to write these memos because I know the president's a liar. I could be wrong. We had a caller yesterday who said Comey sounded like a millennial whining girl. Remember that caller? And I remembered it. Got a story here in the stack, and it's actually CNN. Mark Fallon, professor of English at Emory University, senior editor of the journal First Things, and author of The Dumbest Generation: How the Digital Age Stupefies Young Americans and Jeopardizes Our Future. And he believes that Comey is too sensitive for his own good. You know, I made the point, I call it the noise nation. What that was is that we didn't have an FBI director that sounded like he ran the nation's most powerful law enforcement agency. We didn't have a guy that sounded like that at all. And this guy, Powerline, writes during his testimony, Comey didn't sound like the head of a fearsome investigative agency. He sounded like a middle manager in business who's just attended a human resources seminar on inappropriate behavior in the workplace. We had a caller that basically said the same thing. So we thought we'd put together a montage about
Shifting explanations confused me and increasingly concerned me. They confused me. That didn't make sense to me. A very disturbing thing, very concerning. It caused a whole lot of personal pain for me, confused me and concerned me. I was honestly concerned. Made me uneasy. I was so uneasy. This is a very disturbing development. Lordy, I was kind of a slightly cowardly way, shocked and troubled. Never experienced such a thing. Very concerned. I was a bit stunned. You know, I don't want to make you sound like I'm Captain Courageous. What came to my mind is be careful. I was very, very much my serious concern. I woke up in the middle of the night. He couldn't possibly be having dinner with me alone. Why did he kick everybody out of the Oval Office? I was worried the media was camping at the end of my driveway. I worried it would be like feeding seagulls. It rings in my ears, kind of, will no one read me of this meddlesome priest? Concerned me. You look back in hindsight, you think, should I have resisted harder? That gave me a queasy feeling. Extraordinarily difficult and painful. Got very awkward. I could always be wrong. Again, I could be wrong. Now look, I could be wrong. I could be wrong.
It's not amazing. Now, I gotta take a break, but the part where he says, I feel very awoke in the middle of the night, he can possibly be having dinner with me alone, he's the one that first suggested.
Real men want the Limbaugh letter. America's most muscular, powerful, and successful political newsletter ever. So this Father's Day, give your dad the publication conservatives are clamoring over. The Limbaugh letter is available in print and digital editions at rushlimbaugh.com. You're listening to the EIB Network.
Rush Limbaugh on WCBS.
Finding great candidates to hire can be, well, like trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along. Which is why you should try ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter is different. It doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them. With its powerful technology, ZipRecruiter distributes your job everywhere it needs to be to find the right candidate. In fact, over 80% of jobs on ZipRecruiter get a qualified candidate in just one day. So, while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, only ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
Used by businesses of all sizes, ZipRecruiter offers the most qualified job candidates with immediate results. And right now you can try ZipRecruiter free. That's right, free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/CEO. That's ZipRecruiter.com/CEO for your free trial. ZipRecruiter.com/CEO.
You can have an amazing new kitchen at a fraction of the cost of custom remodeling with chic cabinet refacing from John Hagee Remodeling. Your kitchen will look brand new without all the time, mess, and cost of tearing everything out. The John Hagee professionals will handle the whole project. Countertops, flooring, you can even bring the inside of your cabinets up to date with new drawers, rolled-out trays, and more. All from the winner of many awards for craftsmanship and customer service. Call John Hagee Remodeling now and get half off savings. Save half off the cost of refacing either your base or wall cabinets, whichever measurement is less. Call 410-329-1002. That's 329-1002. Or online at johnhagee.com. That's johnheagy.com. Or visit their showroom on York Road in Hunt Valley to start planning your project. The John Hagee team also does expert kitchen remodeling, bath remodeling, additions, windows, and doors. John Hagee Remodeling, building excellence for over 40 years. Bumblebees always travel the shortest distance between flowers. When you call Bumble Junk, we give you a 2-hour window of when we'll be at your door. Plus, we'll call 20 minutes before we arrive. Our uniformed, get-it-done guys are efficient, too. Just like bumblebees. Customers say we're punctual, professional, and polite. We practice a dying art known as customer service, and we're darn good at it, too. If you need to declutter your home or office, call Bumble Junk, the eco-friendly junk remover. We're fast and extra friendly to flowers.
He's pulling back the curtain on Wall Street, and some people aren't going to like it at all. Listen to Ron Carson on Wealth from Wisdom this Sunday at 2 p.m. right here on Talk Radio 680 WCBM.
Some radio stations brag about the 3 things you need to know. We give you everything you need to know. Stay connected and informed on Talk Radio 680, WCBM, and WCBM.com. Care to be right. And don't doubt me. Rush Limbaugh, Talk Radio 680, WCBM.
Okay, we start on the phones in Sonora, California. Irene, I'm glad you waited. I appreciate that. How are you?
Oh, I'm wonderful. I love your Rush. Anyway, my point is this. In the beginning with Comey, everybody was saying what a principled man he was.
Right.
Well, not.
Right.
Yesterday was a fiasco. This investigation should stop. Trump has no connection with Russia. This is my point. Why in the world did they select Mueller as this counsel, this investigation, when they knew he's a friend of Comey? Is this man out to make a name for himself? And
Who, Mueller?
yeah.
Well,
Could you imagine? He would be the man who brought Trump down.
Well,
and my question to you, Rush, is this.
Yeah.
Is there a possibility there is a collusion going on between Comey, Mueller, and the establishment? They hate Trump so bad, they're going to go to any lengths to destroy this man who is trying to make this country prosperous and to bring America to where it should be. Prosperity and no poverty. As much as we can have no poverty. My thought is, why Mueller? Can he be unbiased? Especially when his friend is concerned. Can he use his judgment and not be clouded by this friendship? Something stinks.
I understand why you have the suspicions that you do. I mean, all you have to do, the fact, Whiskey Tango Foxtrot. What the heck is going on? Why is there, because they've moved the special prosecutor now. They're hoping to move it to investigation of obstruction, if there isn't any collusion. Look, with Comey not leaking, the only thing that matters, I can understand why you think there might be some grand alignment here. I can't blame you for thinking, I got to take a brief time out. Sit tight, my friends. We'll be back much more straight ahead.
Now, keeping you connected with the latest news. This is Talk Radio 680 WCBM and WCBM.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Jill Powell in the 680 WCBM Maryland News Center with the news at 1:30. Maryland Attorney General Brian Frosch and members of a coalition has warned the Trump administration any effort to roll back key vehicle emission standards will be met by a vigorous court challenge. In a letter to the EPA administrator, the coalition makes clear it will take legal action if the EPA tries to weaken air pollution standards set for passenger cars and light-duty trucks. A pedestrian struck and killed by a MARC train in the Elkridge area this morning. MTA officials say the Camden line was shut down south of Baltimore after the ordeal. Until train service is restored, MARC's Penn line and Metro will honor Camden line tickets. President Trump's personal attorney planning to file a complaint against former FBI Director James Comey. It takes issue with Comey's revelation that he leaked his private conversations with the president. 81 degrees downtown. I'm Jill Powell, 680 WCBM News.
The biggest expense homeowners face today is exterior maintenance, and you have to do it over and over. Well, how would you like to never paint your house again? Well, now you can with Rhino Shield. Hi, Rick Mariano. It's a unique three-coat system that looks like rich premium quality paint, sells at 15 times thicker, and is guaranteed for 25 years against slipping, cracking, and peeling. A three-coat system that waterproofs wood, stucco, brick, vinyl, and steel siding. Rhino Shield protects your home and even your business against moisture, damaging rays of the sun, and you'll even save on energy. And Rhino Shield comes in literally thousands of designer colors. If you like the look of beautiful, thick, rich paint, a 25-year warranty, and price is important to you, call now and kick off the new season and save up to 25% off plus 48-month 0% financing. Call Rhino Shield now, 844-RHINO-80. That's 844-RHINO-80. Or visit us at coatrhinoshield.com. That's coatrhinoshield.com.
If you've fallen behind on your taxes, you know that the IRS is already coming for their money, and they'll get it too by garnishing your wages or maybe even taking your home. Business, they call it enforced compliance, and you better watch out because the penalties and interest compound daily, making it seem impossible to ever get out of debt. You need to call the experts at Optima Tax Relief. Solving tax issues is all they do. One call to Optima starts the process to stop the demand letters and stop aggressive collection actions. They get to work immediately, fighting to protect your assets and helping you put your tax problems behind you. The IRS writes off millions every year, and Optima knows all the ins and outs of the IRS's tax assistance programs that could save you thousands. So what are you waiting for? Call Optima now for a free consultation.
Call 800-910-2577. 800-910-2577. 800-910-2577.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
You know, folks, maybe we can't stop time, but these bags and puffiness on the eyes don't need to be there. And now, thanks to Genucell, you can definitely get rid of them. The new Genucell plant stem cell therapy for bags and puffiness under the eyes from our friends at Chamonix is doing just that for men and women across this great country of ours. Here's what Josie had to say. I've been using Genucell for 2 weeks, and my husband is amazed. He says all the puffiness...
Please press the button for entrance. Please wait. Take the ticket. Welcome.
Alright, the mileage at the parking garage is 56,169. So if we add the two together, that should give us what we need to know how exactly far it is. Anyway, I'm going to go to this appointment and get it over with. If it's the last time I have to come down here for a while. See you when I get back. Got my ID card. Nice little... Wow. Pretty neat. What they're going to build over here. It's going up right there. It's over there. What it is right there. Appointment's done. I got my card. I'll be back.
Please insert your ticket. Please wait.
Not doing it. Error. Right again. Oh, come on, mother. Timeout.
Please insert your ticket. Please wait.
So, what, I can't get out? Oh, it's telling me to put it in another... I see.
Please wait. Please insert your ticket. Please wait. Please drive safely.
There we go again. Oh well. Just go. Come on.
Paint 12 to 15 times thicker and is guaranteed for 25 years against chipping, cracking, and peeling. A three-coat system that waterproofs wood, stucco, brick, vinyl, and steel siding. Rhino Shield protects your home and even your business against moisture, damaging rays of the sun, and you'll even save on energy. And Rhino Shield comes in literally thousands of designer colors. If you'd like to look a beautiful, thick, rich paint, a 25-year...
To be almost always right. 99.8% of the time. The latest opinion audit from the Sullivan Group in Rockland Farms, California.
And now, from sunny South Florida, it's Open Line Friday.
Here we go. Final big broadcast hour in the week. Happy to have you with us. El Rushville serving humanity simply by showing up. Telephone number, Open Line Friday, 800-282-2882. The email address, elrushville@eibnet.us. So it was a couple of days ago I mentioned I've been holding on to a story here about the efforts on behalf of Trump to get into some serious infrastructure repair. Now, to set the stage for this, I want to remind you that in February of 2009, Barack Hussein requested a porculus package. It was called a stimulus package of about $800 billion that eventually found its way to $1 trillion. And do you remember the avowed purpose? Infrastructure repair. We were going to rebuild roads. We were going to rebuild bridges. We never told which ones. And we were going to rebuild schools. And we were going to do all of this to modernize America. And barely 1% of this money went to that. Most of that money, as I have detailed, went to unions. We were in recession following the 2008 so-called financial crisis. And the Democrat Party did not want to lose any union dues contributions. So while people were losing their jobs, most of that stimulus money was sent to the states to keep union employees, teachers and the like, employed so that they continued to pay union dues. And a sizable portion of that $800 billion ended up back in the Democrat Party coffers in the laundered form of campaign donations. It was never about infrastructure. And then Obama asked for another one to rebuild roads and bridges in his second term. None of it has been done. So Trump comes along and says, we need to do it. And he gets detailed. Our airports are third world and deteriorating. We got bridges that you don't want to drive across. They've rusted out armpits. And he's serious about it, and he's mentioned $1 trillion figure. And of course, the reaction from the conservative right, $1 trillion? Where the hell are you going to get $1 trillion? We're running a $20 trillion. Where are you going to get the money? And Trump said private-public partnerships. And people like Sturt was, that's not possible. You can't do that. You can't rebuild national bridges and airports and schools and so forth with private money. And we do it all the time. Have you ever seen, you go to the hospital, and you see the Ebenezer C. Scrooge cancer wing. How do you think it got built? Ebenezer Scrooge donated the money with the promise that his name would go on the damn thing. All right? Well, that's private sector. I mean, it's okay, private hospitals, it's still private sector money, even though it's charitable money. And all over New York, I mean, you can see all of these billionaires that want their names to live on if ever. The Ronald J. Perlman Lipstick Foundation Cancer Wing at the northeast wing of the North Fork Hospital, along whatever it is. Well, I have instinctively always understood the concept of public-private partnerships in order to rebuild roads, bridges, and so forth and so on. But that's because I understand instinctively and appreciate capitalism. So I came across this actually an opinion piece in the Washington Times on June 7th. So that means it was on Wednesday. And it's by Alexander Markovsky and Herbert London. Now, you know who Herb London is, right? He's a professor. He's a candidate. He's been a political analyst. He was on firing line type shows now and then. He's a New Yorker. You should love him, right? Capitalism can evolve in the life. Alexander Markovsky and Herbert London. Now, just read to you the opening graph here. After proposing $1 trillion investment into infrastructure, the Trump administration is harnessing the brainpower of renowned experts to unlock the insoluble problem of how many jobs will be created for each $1 billion of spending. While stressing the obvious, the administration's missing the important point. The purpose of capitalism is not job creation. Amen to that. The purpose of capitalism is not to create health care plans. The purpose of capitalism is not to forge livable communities or little gardens outside your standard government-provided apartment. The purpose of the capitalist economy is to create wealth. And that's why leftists oppose it. They want to be in charge of the wealth, primarily in how it is distributed and how the earning of it is limited. The left hates capitalism, not because of freedom and liberty, although they do, but the primary reason they hate capitalism is that it is the most efficient engine to create wealth for the greatest number of people in a society that has ever been devised. Nobody's ever claimed it's perfect. Nobody's ever said it's flawless, but it's better than anything else out there, particularly anything the left has to offer. The purpose of a capitalist economy is to create wealth. Employment and the subsequent distribution of the spoils of an economy are byproducts of capitalism. Since its inception, capitalism has been in a perpetual state of evolution. It is not a static set of principles or rules or of predictable behavior patterns. This has been true from the Industrial Revolution that ignited an economy of mass production, to the economy of mass productivity, to most recently the economy of mass consumption. Each subsequent phase of capitalism has been associated with innovation, rise of productivity, and the immense creation of wealth. Now, it's inarguable that the United States of America is the wealthiest nation that there has ever been. It is also inarguable that this is because the United States is and has been capitalist. It is inarguable that the United States in its heyday created the highest standard of living for the most people in the history of humanity. Inarguable. This is why the left so opposes it. Because it doesn't have a clear ideology attached to it, and therefore the left cannot control it. The left does not like the reliance on individuality and necessarily. Why, when it comes to bridges and roads, why is it that only the government can do that? Go ahead and build a bridge and you're not expert. Help renovate it. If that's where they want to invest the money. Why can't the investment firm, well, I've got more than not of the high-wire too, they can find $5 million investment. Or businesses, they own it and they can restrict who uses it, and you think the government does it. You talk about government owning and restricting people on things. The government restricts what you can say, they restrict what you can watch, they restrict now what you can eat, they restrict what your health care is going to be, and you're worried about them restricting roads. You see how this works? It's so forward for the premise that only government can do certain things. And then when we get around to privatizing, people always applaud it. Well, I mean, the left does, but privatize this, privatize that, prisons, you name it. When you are endeavoring to create wealth by virtue of creating profit, you're going to have a much more efficient operation. A bunch of bureaucrats who have no idea what they're doing, by the way. Only the government should run healthcare, right? Why? Barack Obama doesn't know the first thing about it except maybe how to use a band-aid. His wife doesn't know the first thing about nutrition or what everybody else should eat, but she's the expert, right? Because the Oprah system. You know what? Speaking of the Oprah, I saw something the other day that, this is for funny, Oprah says she would not want to interview Trump. The Oprah will interview anyone, well, not me either, but specifically want to interview Trump. Why? What are you afraid of? I don't want to give that pig any kind of notoriety whatsoever. Privatization of the infrastructure will open a new multi-million-dollar frontier for capitalism, and its effect could be massive. It has the potential to create a long-term economic expansion that would dwarf the scale of the Pacific Railroad. By the way, who built the railroads, Mr. Sturdley? That's right. In fact, well, who made all the money from? Not all the money, but the name Vanderbilt ring a bell? All right. Well, I forget who they exploited. I mean, Mel Brooks got even with them. But there are still, to this day, heirs of the Vanderbilt money that still don't have to work. Well, Anderson Cooper he works, but he's a descendant of the Vanderbilt's mother, obviously. Well, the railroads are built by private, and there was also W. Averill Harriman. Does that name ring a bell? LBJ loved W. Averill Harriman because he was married to Pamela Harriman, who was Pamela What's-Her-Face, and Churchill and everybody, David Irving. Ambassador to France, ambassador to Europe, ambassador to Vaginaville, and she was ambassador to everything. W. Averill Harriman actually founded and discovered, what is it, the place out in Idaho, Sun Valley. You can still see, you go to Sun Valley, you can still see the original ski lift that W. Averill Harriman built. You wouldn't get on it today, but it's there. It's sort of like a statue. Point is, the private sector infrastructure used to be the name of the game. And there's no reason it couldn't work again. And it's certainly not inconceivable that you could have a government partnership with this, with certain private sector individuals. But you have to be comfortable with capitalism, because if you're not, you're going to oppose this till the end of days. That's
just in time for Father's Day. Give your dad a new membership to Rush 24/7, and you'll get Rush's new Limbaugh Institute car magnet.
We have a brand new car magnet. It's an upgrade from advanced conservative studies to advanced anti-leftist studies.
Show your daddy taught you right with a gift membership to Rush 24/7. Available at rushlimbaugh.com. You're listening to the EIB Network.
Rush Limbaugh on WCBN.
Listen to what Dave Ryan says about Andro 400.
Andro 400, I really love it. It's amazing to me that I feel so good. I've lost 50 pounds. I was 38 waves. I've gone down to 32 waves. My mood has changed. I don't get stressed out. It gave me so much more energy. Energy to walk. Energy to play sports. Everything is starting to work again. I feel like I'm 25. My wife is happy. I'm so happy. I'm just a completely different man. I'm taking this stuff to the grave with me.
Matt, have you lost energy and gained belly fat? Are you feeling stressed out? Fight back with Andro 400, the safe, natural, and inexpensive way to increase your testosterone. For over a decade, Andro 400 has helped men lose belly fat, gain energy, and feel 20 years younger. Go to andro400.com, andro400.com, or call 888-400-0435, 888-400-0435.
Hi, Bob Vila here, ready to help you out with my home improvement tip of the day. So you're selling your home and you've scheduled an open house. Here are a few ways to make it a success. First, declutter. The goal is to make your home look airy, yet maintain its feeling of warmth. So store, sell, or donate any furniture you can do without. Clean out closets, and don't forget the garage and the basement. If you've painted any of your rooms in very bold colors, repaint them in more neutral tones. Deep clean, especially in the kitchen and bathroom. Remove and replace any discolored grout. Fresh-looking grout adds loads of appeal. Dress up the front of your home with flowering plants near the entryway. If your front door is looking a bit drab, dress it up with a welcoming hue of fresh paint. And make sure the lawn and flower beds are looking their best. Finally, spend some time poking around interior design websites on the internet. You're bound to pick up a few tips for attracting buyers. Get more info at bobvila.com and right here at home. Me, Bob Vila.
Consider the sun. Its intense heat and light gradually wearing down your car. Defy the sun with window tinting from D&L. Professionally installed crystalline film by D&L rejects heat without changing the appearance of your vehicle, blocking up to 97% of solar energy, making your vehicle cooler. Mention WCBM and get a free visor strip or 50% off a moonroof crystalline tint. DNLtinting.com. D&L Window Tinting. They put the shades on the sun.
Virginia, more than a state, it's the place we call home. From the mountains to Main Street and Seafoam. When we travel within Virginia, we all come together, not just doing the things we love, but making them better. The future grows brighter for your family and mine. With every taste, every memory, and adventure we find. To keep loving Virginia, we must all do our part. Virginia.org is a great place to start. Furnished by Virginia Tourism Corporation and the Maryland, D.C. and Delaware Broadcaster Associations in cooperation with the station.
Hey, Sean Hannity here, inviting you to join me this afternoon right after El Rushmo. From 3 to 6, it's all happening on Talk Radio 680 WCBM.
Open Line Friday, back to the phones we go. This is Matt, Lincoln, Nebraska. Welcome, sir. Great to have you here.
Thanks, Rush. You know, I believe right now that the CNN, the fake media, that they are preparing all the fake news ready for 2020 for people to say that they were a Trump supporter, but now they can't support Trump anymore because of all the scandals. And they don't want 4 more years of scandals.
I wouldn't be surprised that they do that, both in print and in broadcast. Famous for finding even if they had to make up just 1 or 2, they would do it. I mean, if they'll monkey around with polling data, why not with testimony? That reminds me, grab audio soundbite, see what it is here. This is, I think it's number, there we go, number 6. And number 7, Gary Tuckman, see, a very brave and courageous CNN intrepid reporter, decided to venture out into Trump country. He was on CNN's Anderson Cooper 2:30 last night. And Tuckman spoke with a focus group of Trump voters in Fairfield, Ohio, about Comey's testimony before the Senate Intelligence Committee. And this is how Tuckman started the Q&A with the voters.
Raise your hand if you believe James Comey lied, or if you believe he lied. Raise your hand if you believe Donald Trump has lied at all about the situation. None of you believe that.
Gary Tuckman can't believe it. This is from the New York, Washington axis. New York, Washington corridor was CNN. The only liar here is Trump. Comey is the second coming right now. Comey is an angel. Comey is the savior. Comey is the individual of mass integrity. It's going to destroy this pig. Donald Trump, so Tuckman goes out there. And how many of you believe James Comey lied? All 4 hands go up. How many of you believe Donald Trump has lied? No hands go up. So after that, Tuckman was astounded. He was shocked when he found out these people thought it was a good day for Trump.
Let me ask you this before we go. Think of me know the answer. Just a show of hands. How many of you feel better about Donald Trump, your president, after this hearing? How many of you feel worse about Donald Trump? You shall raise your hands the first time. Do you think that was a success for Donald Trump, but not for Mr. Comey? It was. 9 Ohio voters on a historical day here.
9 Ohio voters. Now, they could have easily gone out, and they could have found 9 people claiming they were Trump voters who thought it was embarrassing and bad, and they regret voting for Trump. It's not what happened. They went out there and they found 9 people, and every one of them thought it was a great day for Trump, but not for Comey. 9 Ohio voters on an historic day. And I will guarantee you, seeing it for a surprise, I mean, they've got to know that these 9 people like Trump. And they're probably in the control room laughing at them and making fun of the way they look and making fun of the way they talk. And they're probably seeing people patting themselves on the back for making Trump voters look like fools and turning it around into a positive form. That's how they would look at it. Don't think that they have any real respect for you Trump voters. You're the biggest bunch of hayseed doofuses that ever come down the pike. And they're going to convince you if it takes till 2020. They're going to embarrass you, make sure you realize you did wrong.
Now, keeping you connected with the latest news. This is Talk Radio 680 WCBM and WCBM.com.
Good afternoon, I'm Jill Powell in the 680 WCBM.
Alright, I am back from the George H. Fallon Federal Building, the Treasury Department, Internal Revenue Service in Baltimore. This is where I was, right here. It's a big building. I parked right here, parking down under, which you saw in the video. Anyway, just wanted to say I am back, and I did get what I had to get done. So, pull back out of here, and that's where you were. And, wow, see? It's big, doesn't it? And I went from there. Wow, it's still not, well, yeah, it is, it's there. I went from downtown here, the Federal Building, back to Shrewsbury, PA, all the way here to here. The recording you saw, I started it when I got on 83, coming down, and then I went up 83, and then when I got here, I stopped it, coming back, because who needs to see all the countryside? I already saw it. Anyway, June the 9th, 2017, Federal Building visit, Baltimore, number 2, is done, and I am credentialed, and we'll see you later.